reporting on the Eagles. Yeah, man, we heard it. We heard it. Let's let it brew. Let's let it marinate. We heard it. Brandon Brooks. Not only did he retire, but he saved us some bread. Apparently a couple weeks ago, with restructuring his deal and just, I thought that was, I think that's noble of him. Because for real, like when you sign that type of contract, you really don't have to retire. You know what I mean? You could just sit around, continuing to get rehab, knowing because you got a bag coming in. You continue sitting around, getting rehab, being a liability to the franchise, but being as though, it's dudes on that team that went to war with Brandon. This is what people don't understand about Philadelphia. A culture was built with Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman. A culture was in place. The veterans that had won the Super Bowl that are still on that team are part of that culture that was put in place. So everything not about money. You know what I mean? Everything isn't about money. And I'm happy to say that Brandon Brooks was one of the most decorated guards here, three-time Pro Bowler. I'm happy to say that Brandon Brooks was on the field when we won that Super Bowl. I'm happy for Brandon Brooks. You know what I mean? Injuries ultimately, you know what I'm saying, hurt his career, but I'm happy for him, man. Long story short. What's up with everybody? William Koza, what up? CJ Huggins, what up, what up? Will Kelly, what up? The official sound of Quill, what's good? Jacob Taylor, what up? Man of God, what's going on? Student of Review, what up? CJ Gray, what up? You know what I mean? Dre the Down, what up? And and Brooks' retirement, congratulations, but equals more cap space. It does equal more cap space. And this is the thing about Howie Roseman, man. Howie Roseman continuously makes moves that don't make sense in the beginning, but they turn out to be great for the Philadelphia Eagles in the end. They turned out to be great for us. Like, I was mixed up when Brandon Brooks was extended because we went hard. That was a lot of bread. We paid Brandon a bag. We paid Brandon Brooks a bag. We didn't want him to go nowhere else. We wanted him to be our long-term guy next to Lane Johnson because a culture was built. A culture was built. You know what I mean? That offensive line is a culture. Now, you can't lose Kelce. I think you need to have Kelce at least one more year. You need to have Kelce and Lane to be able to show these guys the ropes. Because with the culture that was being built on the offensive line, you would not have had Landon Dickerson come on so strong at an early stage in his career. Or you would only get that by having reasonable vets. You only get that by having reasonable vets who are able to, capture, the greatness in some of the smaller and some of the younger guys that they coaching. You only get that. Kelce one more year. Yeah, Kelce one more year. Lane might be 2 more years. A changing of the guard is happening right before our eyes. Right before our eyes. This is the beauty of life. This is the beauty of the NFL. Nobody will be in these positions forever. The body gets older. New guys come out of college. Now, what do the Philadelphia Eagles have to do to continue to stay ahead of this curve? What you have to do is you have to always make sure you get great offensive linemen. You know what I mean? What a weirdo. He don't even ask for money. Kenzo, what you talking about? You mean you have to always make, and Howie Roseman has always looked at offensive and defensive linemen. He's always looked at offensive, defensive linemen. Herbig held it down. You're right about that, Kelly Green. Think about it. Mailata, just think about all the defensive linemen that offensive linemen, that we have that are young. You know what I mean? Jack Driscoll can hold it down. Don't sleep. Exactly, Jack Driscoll. So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. 3-time Pro Bowler Brandon Graham made his mark in Philadelphia, made his mark in Houston, and I'm happy to say he was an Eagle. We wouldn't have been able to do the things we did without that offensive line being so great in 2017. But I think we got the pieces in place to already, So listen. You set a franchise record in rushing with Brandon Brooks being on the sideline. Now, I'm not saying you ain't miss having Brandon Brooks out there, but I am going to say this. Listen, it ain't like a lot of people forgot he was there. A lot of people forgot he was there. And that's largely in part due to the offensive linemen that we have on the practice squad and everywhere else. Hey, my guy Philly Mike said, shout out to him for restructuring before dipping too. Yeah, that's a power move. That's it. Because he don't have to do that. He don't have to do that. You got a troll sub in here, LB. Who? I got a troll sub in here. Anti-vax mandate 86. I don't even know why I've read that. I don't know. I don't know nothing about him. Get him out of here. Y'all got the wrenches. You know what I mean? A weirdo, Brandon Brooks got paid to do nothing for 3 years. He been retired. Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm not saying you got paid. Listen, if you rehabbing and you still getting paid, that's different. Brandon Brooks ain't want to make it a 4th year. You know what I mean? So, no, if you got a big contract and you sitting out some games, that is what it is. That is what it is. So I'm not going to say he ain't do nothing for the last 3 years because that's kind of inaccurate. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, that his replacement, the scenario for him retiring or him leaving has already been laid out. The replacements are already here. Now, you got to do the same thing on the defensive line. I'm concerned about the replacements for the defensive line. No. I get you, Kenzo. My bad. I'm sorry. You know, I'm concerned about the replacements for the defensive line. Brandon Graham didn't play last season. He played 2 games or something like that. And we were second to last in sacks. You know what I mean? We were second to last in sacks. So we felt that. Derek Barnett is a penalty machine. We felt that. We felt that. Fletcher Cox doesn't consistently get to the quarterback enough. We feel all of those things on the defensive line. So the offensive line is good. It's good. Honestly, if it's me, I'm drafting an offensive lineman 6th round, 4th round at the highest. But you need defensive linemen. So Brandon Graham retiring doesn't hurt us. It saves us a bunch of money. We got money. We got picks. You know what I mean? And Nick Sirianni is building a culture there that the players seem to be responding to. Does Barnett walk this season? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Barnett was already on a 5th-year option, so he's going to be a free agent. We're not picking him up. Somebody else will pay him. Somebody will pay him around mid-tier bread. And listen, I don't doubt it that I don't doubt that he could potentially be like a star. You know what I mean? I don't doubt that damn, I just lost my train of thought. I don't doubt that Derek Barnett could be a star anywhere else. That's not up for debate. It's very, very well likely that he could be a star somewhere else. But it just ain't working out for us. It ain't working out for us. You know what I mean? We got one of those fan bases to where if you make a couple mistakes, it's a wrap for you. Sad to say, it's a wrap for you. You know what I mean? He need to go somewhere to where they'll allow him to grow a little more. You know what I mean? I hope we draft a linebacker finally. Brandon Graham retired too? No, Brandon Graham ain't retired. I meant to say Brandon Brooks. I'm getting the Brandons mixed up. But I'm saying we felt Brandon Graham's absence. We felt this absence. We were second to last in sacks. Second to last in sacks. And everybody want to say that's due to scheme. Man, we only was rushing 4 a lot this season. I remember rushing 4 with, what's his name? Our Schwartz. I remember rushing 4 with Jim Schwartz. You know what I mean? And Jim Schwartz getting 50 sacks in the season. Not even bringing no linebacker pressure half of the time. So it's not due to personnel that we were second to last. A little bit because Brandon Graham was out. But it's also due to largely in part of guys just getting older. Brandon Graham been here, it'll be like 11 years or something like that. And he's coming off an injury. Fletcher Cox would have been here going on 10 years now. You see what I'm saying? Going on 10 years now. You did okay by bringing in Sweat. But a lot of these up, Milton Williams seems to be coming on. He needs more reps. But the defensive line needs way more attention than the offensive line if we're talking about having to beef that up because Brandon Brooks is gone. Let's take this as a sign that the Eagles will draft a new offensive lineman. I hope they don't. You just took an offensive lineman last year in the 2nd year. I would like to think that Landon Dickerson is going to be Kelsey's replacement. That's what I hope. That's what makes sense. Landon Dickerson will be Kelsey's replacement. Landon Dickerson could play all 5 spots. All 5 spots on the offensive line. I would hope that that was the reason for that. Because the way that dude was doing what he was doing next to Jordan Mailata on the left side of that line got to be illegal for a center to be like that. But can Landon Dickerson move like Kelsey? Kelsey is an anomaly, man. He's undersized, but when he's moving, he's like Aaron Donald on the offensive line the way he's knocking people around. So I don't know. Dickerson playing so good on left guard, though. That's facts. Dickerson is playing outstanding at left guard. Outstanding. This chill will LB from yesterday. Who do you think moves, Saimalu or Dickerson? I think you got to leave Dickerson where he's at. He's dominant right there. He's dominant right there. Isaac Saimalu might move, but Herbert has also played well. We got to use one of those picks on Kelsey's replacement. You can use a late round pick on the center. You can. You can. You could use a pick on the center. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But for real, you listen. If you're gonna bring in a center, this got to be the year to do it. Don't wait till Kelsey retires. If you're gonna bring in another center, bring him in now so Kelsey can show him the ropes. Bring him in now. Bring him in now. Don't wait until Kelsey retires next season and then you go get a center when you don't have one. Bring him in now so Kelsey can let him know how this thing has to happen for this offensive line to gel the way that it's been gelling. Bring him in now, man, because Kelsey do things that other centers don't do. Kelsey can get out 10 yards in front of a running back and be blocking downfield. A lot of centers not doing that. Kelsey's an all-pro, first-team all-pro center. He's different. LB, use all 3 first this year or trade 1 to have 2 in next year. Hey, Kenzo, I'm trading 1 to have 2 in next year's draft. I'm going to trade 1 to have 2 in next year's draft because there's no quarterbacks coming out. If Jalen Hurts don't pan out, you would rather go into 2023 with two first-round picks, right? Listen, you can have 2 first-round picks in 2022, and you can have 2 first-round picks in 2023. Trade 1 of your first-round picks this year because you got 3. Trade 1 right now for an additional second in 2023. Trade it. Trade your first for an additional second or third. Or trade your first for the other first. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But right now, the quarterbacks coming out this year's draft, none of them better than Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? And you got other needs that need to be filled. Other needs that need to be filled. Nicole, what Dean from Georgia has to be a top priority. You got 3 picks. You got 3 picks. You might not be high up enough to get Derek Stingley, the cornerback, but you got a lot of picks, man. You could really get a cornerstone piece. It's like 10 of them in the first round. Probably like 15 for real. So you trade 15 because you would know your next pick at 16. No, I'm not trading. I don't know if I'm trading 15 or 16. I might trade 19 because at 15 and 16, I want to double dip. I want to be the way I envision this draft going. I want so many players to be available at 15 and 16 that you cannot miss. You cannot miss at 15 and 16. They both should be hits. You're right there in the middle. People are going to take guys that's out of your range, and then whatever falls to you at 15 and 16 will be there. Will be there. Trust me when I tell you. And depending on who's in between us from 16 to 19, you really could triple dip. Now, if nothing's there at 19, then I trade the pick. I trade the pick if nothing there at 19. But if something there at 15, 16, at 19, I'm getting all of it. I'm getting all of it. All of it. Trade that Carson pick, I think it's 19. Like I said, if something there at 15, 16, and 19, I'm drafting it all. I'm drafting it all. All of it. Because what's the dude named Lloyd? You got Nicole Dean. It's so much stuff. You got the edge dude from Michigan. It's so many dominant players in this year's draft. I cannot wait for the draft. I think I'm going to be there. I'm going to the draft this year. I got to hear it called. Nicole Dean won't be there at 15. He's too good. I don't agree with that. No, he's good. He's good. But you don't know where he's going to be. We can't keep doing that. We're not going to do that this year. Because JOK was there in the 2nd round. He was a first-round talent. We're not going to do that this year. We don't know. 15 and 16, anything goes. Anything goes. And then you have other leverage that a lot of people not even talking about. You got teams that need offensive linemen. We got a slew of them. Listen, Andre Dillard can get you a 3rd-round pick this offseason. Andre Dillard can get you a 3rd-round pick this offseason. I don't know what content creator I saw this from. They posted something, but it made me think. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. Andre Dillard could block enough to help you not get sacked 9 times. Andre Dillard can block enough to help you get sacked 9 times. Listen, I'm so high, low key on Andre Dillard. If he goes to another situation, I think he'll be a Pro Bowler. With 3 offensive linemen, the 2 top D ends, maybe 3, and maybe 2 QBs before us, we're gonna have choices. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have choices, a lot of choices. See, a lot of people forgetting about Andre Dillard. That is the ultimate trade bait. He's not going to convert over, so there's no need in keeping him around. He's a first-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Meaning he should have an option on him, right? He should have an option on him. So whoever gets him will be able to have the option year attached to his contract. So I think Andre Dillard holds tremendous value. Tremendous value. You got so many pieces that hold tremendous value. Listen, if you want to use all 3 first-round picks this year, I'm not against that. But if you get to trade Andre Dillard in the offseason for a 2nd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick in a 2023 draft, you could do it. You could do it. You can do it. You can do it. Now, for real, in all actuality, I would say the Eagles are like a season and a half away from showing where they really can be. I like Nick Sirianni, but if you didn't fire Doug Peterson, you'd probably be you could be talking about this year, this upcoming season, like maybe we could get to like the divisional round. You could be talking like that if you didn't fire Doug. Because if you didn't fire Doug, Jalen Hurts would be in the same system now for the 2nd year, going into his 3rd year in the same system. If you didn't fire Doug, just a little more cohesiveness could have been, had with your quarterback. That was the only bad thing the Philadelphia Eagles did. I agree with getting rid of Carson Wentz when you had to get rid of him. You know what I mean? But if you would have kept Doug, I think it would have been a little further along. That's just my opinion on that. What round would you take another wide receiver, LB? Shit, you got 3 first-round picks, man. If the right guy is there at 19, I'm taking him, bro. I'm taking him. If homeboy from Alabama, Jameson Williams, however you say his name. No, I'm not too good with names. If homeboy from Alabama is there, I know he just tore his ACL. I'm drafting him. What difference do it make? You drafted Sidney Jones. When he had injury issues. Dude and Nakobe Dean and Dude look like the only 2 NFL-ready guys. Up until Dude got hurt, he was literally unguardable, running routes at a different level. Now go research Drake London. I'm hip on Drake London. If he there at 19, I'll grab him. Linderbaum is a beast. The options are there. Nobody, you want to be the Philadelphia Eagles in the offseason right now. If you already out the playoffs and your season is over, and if you're not the Philadelphia Eagles, you need to go get a GM that's studying under Howie Roseman. You need to go get a GM that's been studying under Howie Roseman. Wilson will be there in the 1st, especially with the ACL, once he gets healthy with Smith. That's what I'm saying. As soon as he get healthy, listen, it's okay. So look, these are 3 moves that I would really consider from the Philadelphia Eagles. I absolutely love the idea of trading, and I saw this again from a content creator. I can't remember who it was. I absolutely love the idea of trading Andre Dillard to the Bengals for maybe Tyler Boyd. Listen, they got wide receivers over there. Tyler Boyd at 800 receiving yards. They stacked over there. If you give me Tyler Boyd and I slide you like a 5th and Andre Dillard, I'm cool with that. Tyler Boyd will do damage over here with us. I'm also not sneezing at Michael Gallup. I'm looking at Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is a stud. Just another guy in a crowded situation. Yeah, he got an injury as well. But listen, I will doctor him up. I'll get him healthy. I'm looking at Michael Gallup. I'm looking at Williamson. So I'm looking at 2 dudes that have been injured. And I'm looking at trading a 1st-round offensive lineman for another guy who's just not a number 1 wide receiver. That should tell you the state of the wide receiver group of the Philadelphia Eagles. That should tell you the state in a nutshell. The state. And then you got money. So you can look at, I am not in on Mike Williams. I don't like the Mike Williams thing. A lot of people are saying that. It's getting a lot of traction. I do not like the Mike Williams idea because Mike Williams cannot run every route in a route tree. Mike Williams has an elite deep route running tree. He can run deep routes, but anything underneath, Mike Williams is just a guy on the field. And that's just the facts. I looked at a lot of tape on Mike Williams over the last couple of weeks. Mike Williams is just good for red zone and deep threats and being a deep threat. We don't have a guy. We don't. This is what Jalen Hurts needs. Jalen Hurts needs a wide receiver with a dominant catch radius. A wide receiver with a dominant catch radius. Even if it ain't the best ball, he would still give you an opportunity at getting the ball. Look at how many times Devontae Smith had to contort his body to make an amazing catch or stuff. You know, everybody has to like move around. That's everywhere in the National Football League for the most part. But if you go get a guy like Allen Robinson, who has elite level route running, and he's a bigger body, and he has a great catch radius, that will really help bring out the passing game for the Philadelphia Eagles. It would really help bring out the passing game for the Philadelphia Eagles. The only thing that's been holding Allen Robinson back is quarterback play where he's been at. And Jalen Hurts is an upgrade. An upgrade. Jalen Hurts is an upgrade over Trubisky, Dalton, all of that. Upgrade. Adrian, the only one that I know who came back that fast and was effective. From an ACL, I mean, it's doable. Look at homeboy for the Rams. He came back in 8 months from Achilles. And Achilles is another one that could really, like, change your career. Remember, when Kobe tore his Achilles, Kobe wasn't the same. He wasn't the same. Mike Williams, 6'4", and he's had 76 catches, 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I mean, I like Mike Williams' stats, but Mike Williams also has some games to where he was just floating around. He was just floating around. He has some games to where, you know, we got to look at it, man. We got to look at it. We got to look at it in its totality, man. I want to know Mike Williams' game chart, game by game. How was he effective? Because the Chargers were a passing offense. Now, granted, you got Keenan Allen on his other side. They're going to pass. They got Herbert. But if Mike Williams come over here, he will have a way bigger role. A way bigger role. He'll arguably be the #1 guy based upon track record alone. Are you comfortable with Mike Williams potentially being the #1 guy? I'm not comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with Allen Robinson, though. What you think of the DK Metcalf rumors? If you can get DK, I would take him. I would trade Jalen Reagor for DK Metcalf. Head up. And I throw in the 4th. Like, DK Metcalf is one of them guys you got to do that for. Goddard and Devontae Smith don't want another star wide receiver taking targets from them. It's not about what they want. They need another star wide receiver. They need one. I don't care what they want. They need one. Because Reagor, how many targets did Reagor get? Somebody let me know how many targets did Reagor get. How many targets did Reagor get? Too damn many. So if you out there depending on Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, and you got a bunch of guys who playing at a practice squad level after that, with the exception of Quez Watkins, then you're not in good shape. You're not in good shape. He the true X, Smith will be the Y. That's scary. That's scary to me. I agree. So if you get Mike Williams, I ain't mad at it. I got to see it translate onto the field. But if I had to pick between Mike Williams and Allen Robinson, I'm going Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson has shown in his career that he can handle 100 targets. He's done it multiple times, I believe. 100 targets, 100 receptions. He's shown that that's how you use him. He's shown that you can do that. Mike Williams is not a guy that you can throw the ball to 100 times a game. Because if it's an underneath route, he probably not open because he don't have that type of speed, and he don't run those great underneath routes. Mike Williams is a guy that you just use to stretch the field. And if you having an off day passing the ball, Mike Williams is null and void. He's null and void. He is null and void. Mike Williams only works for guys who already have elite arm talent. He will only work for guys that already have elite arm talent. Right now, Jalen Hurts ain't there. That's just my opinion. It could be different. Alexis, what up? LB, I wonder how Howie, let me see. I wonder how Howie and Lori evaluate coaching because our only development comes from the O-line. I can't think of anyone we developed, so coaching is a big if for me. To be fair, there was some development for Jalen Hurts. O-line, you're right. O-line really was. That's not really Howie, though. That's Jeff Stoutland. You know, the offensive line coach, He's a dog. He's proven to be a dog. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that he's not getting coordinator calls at this point. But he's a great offensive line coach. No, almost nobody else, almost no other position group, you know, sees that type of development, man. It's sad. Only the O-line. You're right. I didn't even think of that. After what I seen week 18, Mike Williams the man. Yeah. Quez was developed. I don't think Quez was developed. I think Quez just got an opportunity. Quez just should have been on the field. That's difference. G, thank you for the super chat. Who you taking at number 19 if we don't sign a wide receiver? Olave, James Wilson, Garrett Wilson, or Treylon Burks? Jameson Williams. I'm taking him. Allen Robinson, I'll take too. Williams probably want a long deal. Robinson, you probably get a short deal, both around 15 to 17 mil. Yeah, I'm not mad at either one. You just gotta address it. You gotta address it. Because in a perfect scenario, you want Devontae Smith to be your 1 or 2. You want whoever you sign in free agency to be your 1 or 2. And you want Quez Watkins to be like your dominant third guy or your dominant slot guy. That's the perfect scenario. We never really we haven't invested in a wide receiving position since Terrell Owens for real. I mean, you got some investment with Devontae Smith. We picked the guy in the first round. We tried to do it through the draft. Rager was a bust. But I'm talking about you got to go out there and spend some money on a dude that you know gets it done. We got the 15th pick, the 16th pick, and the 19th pick. You can't expect to change the fortunes of your passing game through the draft this year because those dudes will have to develop. If you want to change the fortunes of your passing game, go spend money on a free agent wide receiver. Go spend money. Go spend money. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Go throw a bag at Allen Robinson or Mike Williams. Go try to get DK Metcalf. Make a splash. Make a splash. Now, in the defense, you could get some of them guys through the draft. But playmakers are different. Offensive playmakers are different. You can't really judge how a guy will translate to the next level if you draft him. You can't judge if he's going to make them same plays. You can't. You can't. But I know if you could move a 300-pound man out of the way like a piece of paper in college, you'll be able to do it 3 years after college. You'll be stronger. You'll be stronger. You'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's so much talent to just take best available, any category, period. I agree. We need an Alshon Jeffrey type cat. We definitely do. Silas, what's going on, bro? Smith got to be your number 1. He don't have to be. Do you think Michael Thomas from the Saints could be worth trading for? I mean, I don't like these big contracts. You know what I mean? I want to get a guy like, honestly, I want to get a guy like on a 2-year deal. You know what I mean? I'll even take a guy on a 1-year prove-it deal. I'll take a guy on a 1-year prove-it deal. But, you know, like I said, man, Michael Gallup, I think the Dallas Cowboys actually end up keeping Michael Gallup. I think Amari Cooper goes on the move this year. I think a lot of stuff about to be shaken up. A lot of stuff. Take that. Give me Linderbaum, Ahmad Gardner. Hold on. OBJ, maybe. Maybe. See, the reason why I don't want OBJ, because OBJ wants great quarterback play. Bottom line. Baker Mayfield ain't the best throwing the ball, and it just created friction. OBJ was mad. You know what I mean? This ain't a quarterback that can get me the ball. OBJ needs somebody that's proven to get him the ball. And Jalen Hurts still got to prove that he can get a guy. OBJ's a superstar. He got to prove that he can get somebody like that the ball when he's supposed to have the ball. You got to prove it. You know what I mean? I'd rather throw a screen pass to DK Metcalf than Jalen Reagor. You know what I mean? We ain't the place for OBJ. We still trying to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We listen, we young. We don't need nobody to come in there that's impressionable. OBJ is not going to influence the way how Jalen Ramsey do things. OBJ is not going to Aaron Donald. OBJ is not going to do these things to Von Miller. But OBJ could come in there and corrupt a Quez Watkins, guys that are true fans of his. You know what I mean? LB, take a look at Kyer Elam, defensive back Gators. What's your opinion? I got you. DM me, Alexis. DM me, like his name and stuff before I forget. Cedric Wilson is solid. Elam is definitely the guy. I ain't heard of him. We got to do it. We're going to get onto the draft boards. We're going to get onto it. Rager remind me of Josh Huff. I think Josh Huff could have been better than Rager. I think Josh Huff didn't get caught with the strap in Philly. That's no bueno. Elam is a good option at cornerback. Okay, Playboy, you smooth with the DM. Smooth with the DM? I mean, that's how messages, that's how information gets passed around. Josh Huff was trash. Josh Huff was trash. Definitely wouldn't be mad at Elam. He's a dog. How we not getting DK? That would be showing that he drafted wrong. How he has an ego just based off his past drafts. I mean, listen, man. I think Howie got better because Howie isn't afraid to, you know, I think Howie got better because Howie stepped out of his own way. If that makes any sense. Howie accepted defeat when he drafted who did he draft that I said he accepted defeat? Devontae Smith. He accepted defeat when he drafted it because he drafted Jalen Rager the year before in the first round. He drafted a wide receiver in the first round 2 years in a row. So I don't think Howie Roseman has a problem with accepting defeat. I don't think that's his issue. Thielen from Minnesota. I like the Adam Thielen idea. I like that. Adam Thielen is a really good wide receiver. Real technical. Smart. You need a change of pace guy. I think Adam Thielen would be a great change of pace guy for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a good one. 3 first-round picks, Howie is trading for 3 first-round picks, Howie is trading for a veteran QB. I mean, y'all hope he do. You know what I mean? LB, I'm so tired of drafting wide receivers. Just take somebody in free agency and give Devontae 12 targets a game. That's all you got to do. If the Saints go on a fire sale because they're way over the cap, I'm looking at Marshawn Lattimore. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it, Mike. I'm looking at from the Saints, I'm definitely looking at some of them guys from that defensive end. Cam Jordan could be on a move too. Cam Jordan is a dog, bruh. Cam Jordan is a dog. Imagine if we could add Cam Jordan to our defensive line. Man, Cam Jordan is a dog. I would love to pry Cam Jordan away from the Saints. He would be my first option because I think the defensive line needs a lot of help. I think the cornerback room, I don't think they're super bad because you still got Slay. You still got Maddox. I don't know what's going to happen with Steven Nelson, but Cam Jordan would be crazy if they go on a fire sale. And we got the money to make the splash of all splashes. The way I know Howie Roseman is this. Howie Roseman understands. DeMario Davis out of in 02. Yeah, Howie Roseman understands that where we're weak at. He understands that the defensive line and the offensive line is the strength of the football team. That's what he firmly believes. And when your defensive line doesn't show up, and when your defensive line is second to last in sacks, it got to be corrected. No questions asked. No questions asked. Later on this afternoon, LB, we need somebody to complement our offense like Debo. You do. You definitely need somebody to complement the offense. You need somebody that's going to play. See, we're not flashy. We're not 80-yard pass up the field. We're not going to drive 70 yards in 4 plays. We're not that type of team. So you need somebody that's going to be able to grind and get yards from the mud. You need physicality. You need physicality. You know what I mean? So that's why this upcoming video this afternoon, we're going to talk about the top needs of the Philadelphia Eagles, where we absolutely need to get the strongest before we can take the next step. That's the bottom line. We got to do it. Bobby Wagner, is so much out there for us. Sanders in the 4th for Cam Jordan. Why would we do Sanders in the 4th? They got Alvin Kamara. Why would we do Sanders in the 4th? Got Alvin Kamara. You know what I mean? Grind time, what's up with you? But yeah, man, we're going to get to it, man. Official video coming later. Thank y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Make sure y'all sub. We getting close to the 20K mark, man. We got to get there one way or another. We're going to make it happen. It is what it is, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. This video was brought to you by Manscaped. Big Manscaped in the building. Use code Brunson. Save 20% off. Get the free shipping. You know the free shipping I fought for that for y'all, man. Y'all know the vibes. We're going to continue the conversation later. Lunchtime out. Eat y'all lunch. Drink y'all water. Eat y'all vegetables. All that good stuff.